Hello lecturers and hello everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Soli Sang and my group members are Hamjin Apik and Lane Kim Long. We are excited to present you about our research proposal, and our topic is about discipline issues in online classes, lecturers' experiences and challenges, which is conducted under the supervision of lecturer by Richard. This is our content. We have 6 chapters, and I'm going to cover the first 2 chapters, which is about introduction and literature review. So the first point in introduction, it is about background information. Online learning is one of the new things that has just emerged in the 20th century after the presence of computers and the internet. As a direct consequence, the world now is strongly depending on online learning in order to provide education to people in this global pandemic. As schools continue to be locked down due to COVID-19 outbreak, many teachers have relied on online classroom to educate students. As a result of that, all students and teachers are using online classroom right now as they have no choice. Online learning plays an important role in education, as it does not require face-to-face meeting and activities, which is really suitable in today's situations. Let's move to the next point. It is about research questions and objectives. So our research, we have 2 research questions. The first one, what are the disciplines problems that lecturers at DOE have faced? And how do lecturers maintain online discipline in the classroom? And our research objective is to explore discipline issues of students at DOE and to explore teachers' strategy in dealing with online discipline issues. Move on to the next point, which is about problem statement. Most university students are struggling in the online classroom because they either don't have the disciplines in themselves or the teachers doesn't have the discipline in his or her classroom. As can be seen, most students tend to feel lost during the online class because of some reasons, and others feel lost because they cannot catch up or feel demotivated during the class. These somehow lead to the cause of lacking discipline in the online classroom. Let's move on to the last part of the first chapter, which is about significance of research study. This study aims to contribute to DOE students knowing about the discipline in themselves in order to avoid the obstacle in their virtual learning. Moreover, it also helps the teacher to know how to strongly maintain the discipline in the class to ensure that the students will have no barrier to get the knowledge in their online learning environment. Let's move on to the second chapters, which is about literature review. So the first point in this chapters is defining concepts. Based on Jennifer Carnival 2017, she stated that discipline is known as the practice of teaching others to obey rules or norms by using punishment to correct unwanted behaviors. In school, discipline means a system that consists of the code of conduct, punishment, and behavioral strategies to manage students and keep school and classroom in order. Move on to the next point about history and trends. Throughout the history of education, the common forms of discipline that mostly used is corporal punishment. Let's say, while a child was in school, teachers were considered as a substitute parent. Therefore, all forms of parental discipline were open to them. School discipline refers to the actions taken by the teachers when a student disrupts the ongoing class activities or breaks a rule created by the school. This rule, for instance, defines the expected standard of uniform, punctuality, and social conduct. Disciplines guide students' behavior to help them learn to take care of themselves and other people around them. The aim of discipline is to set a limited restriction to certain behaviors or attitudes of students that can be seen as harmful or against the school policies. Move on to the next point about previous research. Dealing with discipline issues is one of the most challenging parts of a teaching job. The best way to cope with a discipline problem in the classroom is to understand these issues. First, it is about the problem at home. Issues and stresses at home are a significant reason for students to act out in class. For example, if students are abused or mistreated at home, their anger might lead them to interrupt others in the classroom. Students who come from homes where their parents divorced are also stressed and they can behave badly in a way to deal with their frustrations. Acting out in class is a way for students who feel helpless from their home situations and they feel that they still have some control. Second, it is about their peers. Students who get bullied by their peers are also subject to cause discipline issues in the classroom. Although many students who get bullied will begin to withdraw themselves from the classroom to avoid themselves from the bully, other students act out. Sometimes the student who bullies are abused at home or someone else that leads them to lash out their classmates. Third, it is about their perception. If the student feel that they don't like their teacher's teaching, the teacher might not protect him or support him. He might become a problem in the classroom. Feeling of neglect, stress, and also depression can affect students who feel like teachers don't care about them at all. Some students could have issues adjusting to different teaching styles. Many teachers now differentiate lesson plans to include all types of learners. If teachers are not reaching a student enough, he could act out in class. Finally, it is about the disability of students. Students with learning disability can also sometimes be undisciplined in class. The disabilities can be classified anywhere from attention deficit disorder to autism. In some cases, students with learning issues require a special teaching plan to teach to their needs. Students with learning disability are on medication to help them focus on study. Occasionally, students forget the medicines and cause a problem in the classroom. Let's move to the last point in chapter 2, which is about local literature and gap. So our topic is quite new, therefore the information is still insufficient. Moreover, as we can see, that most of research studies are usually focused on how online learning is important for teachers and students and how they help people since it was created and the cost and effects of online classroom, but the previous study did not provide enough information about the discipline problem and strategy on how to maintain online classroom effectively. So this is the end of my presentation and I would like to pass the floor to my group members Tidapik, and she will present you the next part of this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizong, for the floor. So this is me, Tidapik, and now I'm going to continue my part, which is about the research methodology. So in this part, I will divide it into 5 small parts, which there are research design, samplings, instruments, data collection, and data analysis. So let's get through it together. So for the first one is research designs. So our group will choose the qualitative research as our research design because we think that we want to know about the lecturer perspective on the discipline issue in online classroom, and we also want to observe the teacher the problem that teacher have met during their classes, as well as to get more strategy from them in order to maintain the discipline in online classes. Yes, and therefore we will choose in-depth interview as our research design as well. So move on to the next is the sampling. So in this, the respondents will be selected by using purposive sampling design, because we think that by using purposive sampling design, we gonna get to collect the best respondent to respond to our research question. Yes, and the participant will be chosen based on our criteria, and we have 3 criteria to choose all the respondents. And the first criteria is all the lecturers must have an experience to teach online classes for at least 2 semesters. The second criteria is they have the discipline issue in their classroom. And the last criteria is they will have a well-disciplined in their classes. Yeah. So that is all. So let's move on to the third part, which is the instrument. So for this instrument that we will need in order to collect our data, is the first one, the interview schedule. Of course, we must have. And the second one is the questions. In question here, our group will set 4 main questions in order to ask the respondent, and also follow up with small questions. Yeah. And the third one is Zoom. So of course, we will use Zoom platforms as we cannot meet the respondents face to face due to our current situation, which is the COVID-19, and we cannot meet each other outside. So that's why we're gonna hold the interview stage in Zoom platform. Yes. So let's move on to the next part, which is like the data collection. So for the data collection, so the interviewee will be met online with us, and of course we should ask for their permission first by sending our consent form in order to clarify the ethical problems. And they are required to read and to understand our topic, our research question, and also our research objective in advance. And then we will invite them to an online meeting platform. Of course, it is Zoom, and we will ask their permission to record during our conversation. Yeah. So this is all for the data collection. So let's move to the data analysis. So we after that we record our conversation. We will get the data from it, and we will transcribe the data into the Microsoft Word, which will make us like easy to analyze all the data into the main sim. Yeah, and I think it is all of my part. So the chapter 4, 5, and 6 will be handled by my teammate Kim Long. So I'm passing the floor to Kim Long. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kim Long, and you can call me Long. And I'm going to present about research finding and also discussion. In this chapter, we have categorized our finding into 4 main themes, which are punctuality, misconduct, classroom management, and recommendation. First of all, out of 5 participants, 5 of them said that they have problem with punctuality, and the most commonly seen problem in punctuality are the students who join the class late and the students who were absent without any the reason. So the lecturer will have to do attendance checking before starting the class. However, one of the lecturer have provided a good solution, which is the 5 minutes before meeting. For instance, she start the call 5 minutes before the meeting,
and then she will wait for another 5 minutes after the meeting in order to let the student who did not come on time to join the class. And however, if they still late after um, another 5 minutes, um, she will start doing the attendance checking. The student who came after that will consider as late coming, so they will receive punishment, um, which is singing or doing another activity. And for students who manage to come on time, will get compliment from her, and she also inspired them to be on time. And for misconduct, um, all of the participants um, said that they have problem with misconduct. And the most commonly seen in online classroom is the student um, use excuses and lying. For instance, some students do not um, do not stay in the session. They just um, join the call to get the um, attendance before doing something else apart from learning. And there are also um, other misconduct problems, which is not most commonly seen, but it creates serious in online classroom, which is cheating. There are students who were cheating during their quizzes. So the lecturer um, will have to control the time of the quizzes in order to minimize the risk of student cheating during the quizzes. So the student will only receive the amount of time to complete the task, and they don't have another time to share their answer in the group or share the answer with each other. And for the student who always lies and using excuses, the lecturer will provide them a new task to do in order to let them learn. For the classroom management, four of the lecturer said that they have problem with classroom management. There are students who were not paying attention during the class, and there are also students who will submit their assignment after the due time. So the lecturer will frequently remind them or notify them about the deadline of their assignment or other post tasks. So they will submit their assignment on time. And if they do not submit it on time, they will get the score deducted. And for students who were not paying attention during the class and do not do or join any activity or exercises during the class, the lecturer will provide them a second chance to complete those tasks. Um, and for the last point about recommendation, lecturer were asked to share about their experience and perspective of how lecturer can maintain discipline in online classes to ensure that the classes are going on well. And the results have shown that all lecturers um, jointly agree that reinforce rule and regulation at the beginning of semester is, is really important and necessary in order to allow students to understand and know what they should do and what they should not do in online classroom. Moreover, lecturer Also stated that motivation is also an important factor in minimizing discipline problem in online classroom because students were forced to change their learning environment from physical classroom um, to online classroom. As a result, most of them were distracted and couldn't focus on learning in their new environment. Therefore, encouragement from lecturer and participating in some interesting activity um, play an important role in helping students um, adapt to new environment and also helping them focus on studying. The findings show that our hypothesis claiming that most students are struggling in an online classroom because they don't have sense discipline or that the teacher doesn't have discipline in his or her classroom was not entirely correct. Since the teacher have tried to reinforce the rule, giving encouragement um, and also come up with many solutions. However, discipline problems such as punctuality, um, misconduct, and class performance are still occurring. And the results have shown that the most commonly seen problem in online classroom are late submission, late coming, lying and excuses, cheating, and so on are still occurring despite changing platform from physical classroom to online classroom. And And the most difficult part in dealing with discipline problem is the limitation of observation. Because teacher have no means to observe how the student behave during the class. With the student unmuted microphone and off camera, comparing all information that we have got from the interview to literature review above, it showed that there are some similarity between the two. The literature review and the result both prove that um, dealing with this BIM problem is still the most challenging part in teacher daily classes. And from the result after conducting the interview, it can be seen there are some top issues that the lecturer had faced during teaching online classes. I will file them. Four of them have problem with classroom performance, which is hard to deal with. Besides, there are participants who face difficulty to deal with students who were silent. And overall, the most recognized and effective solution jointly agreed by the five lecturer, all of them saying that by setting the rule and regulation um, beforehand really do have with the discipline problem since the students are aware of what they should do and what they should not do in their classes. That's all for my presentation.